What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 486th episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. I am your host, SBJ. I am adjusting these levels because this room seems echoey. Hi, Greg is here.
Hello. You have a big green screen behind you. Are you going to put something fun in there in video editing? Is it going to be like Piplup?
No,
and
I'm thinking of
the
the vertical crop, so you ideally don't see what's on the other side. How
messy your room is right now, because it's absolute chaos. I cannot believe.
I have a router hanging from an Ethernet cord off
before your
the
Twitch
ceiling.
premiere, and it's this level of chaos. No pressure.
Oh, there's pressure. Will is on assignment. I think he's in Texas. I don't know.
In Texas. On assignment. I don't know what assignment, but it's definitely in Texas.
He's definitely doing something down there. So we have Pengu here with us today.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for having me
on. Because you're new, wow, we haven't had a new person in a long time. Who was the last new person we had? Bobby?
Jake.
Oh yeah, we had Jake on an episode. Yeah, probably Jake. And then before that was maybe Bobby. I don't know. Pengu, who are you?
See,
I'm so
this is what I was talking about.
Words.
This is why you should never be nervous coming on this show.
Hi, hello. I'm Pengu. I am very nervous coming on this show. I'm Pengumon on Twitch, so you might have seen me hanging around Steve's streams on there. I am a pretty big Pokemon noob, relatively speaking, so I have no idea what I'm talking about, despite some of the Pokemon paraphernalia around my childhood bedroom, if you're watching the YouTube video version of this. But I do like Pokemon things. I just don't know things about them, and I learn things about them, and they go in one ear and out the other. So ready to hear and ready to be here and be a sponge about all of the Pokemon news this week.
Is there?
Oh, we got news.
We say that.
We got news.
There's a Pokemon GO thing that already passed.
If you read my YouTube comments, I also don't know anything about Pokemon. This is so you're in the right place. Where do we want to start? Let's start with the Pokemon GO news. My boy, not Cram, because when I said my boy was added to the game, Irene was like, "Oh, they added Cramorant."
Yeah, you can't say that because you cannot claim this one as your boy.
What? Dedenne arrives in the Pokemon GO Festival of Lights event. So, yeah, that started on Friday, November 5th. It goes until Sunday, November 14th. Dedenne cannot be shiny. He just shows up. He's not terribly rare. If you don't know anything about Dedenne, he's an electric fairy type Pokemon. Debuted in Gen 7. 6. See? Don't know anything about Pokemon. 7 was Togedemaru.
I'm just nodding every time you say something, and I'm like, yep, Gen 7, yep, Gen 6, definitely.
No.
Cobalion, Terrakion, Virizion have returned to raids. For whatever reason, they're saying if you're lucky, you might find Shiny Charmander, Vulpix, Alolan Raichu, Electabuzz, Magmar, Chinchou, Mega Manectric. Those could always be shiny. I don't know why they're pointing it out again. Maybe because, I don't know, people forget. Maybe because there are less Pokemon that can be shiny versus the amount of Pokemon that can be shiny.
Steve, I think they just really needed to make sure that you knew that Chinchou can be shiny in Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Also, they just are confirming. They've been confirming like this for a while. I mean, we are not going to knock them for actually communicating for once. Like, I'm not going to hold this against them.
Okay.
I'll hold everything else against them, but not this.
There's also double friendship bonus. So if you're in a situation where your friend has 2 more hearts to get to the next level, and you know that they don't want to send you a gift because then you will hold on to their gift and then you'll force the open. Now you can just open the gift and you'll get 2 instead of 1, which I've done to a bunch of people because they put me in this situation and I'm like, my time is now. Lucky egg, you've sat on this for 6 months. This is your fault. So open all your gifts and send as many gifts as possible because if you are still on the Mew quest, if you're still trying to level up, I mean, like the friendship stuff is the best way to get experience for doing little to nothing. I don't know, do it while you're in the bathtub or something.
I mean, it takes so long to do. I have to set aside half an hour when I'm like, okay, I want to sit down and manage my inventory for half an hour on my mobile game. And then I never make anybody happy because they're like, you haven't opened my gift. And I'm like, gee, I have 200 people in this list, all who are saying I haven't opened their gift. I can't open all of them. I go in a very specific order. If you reach out to me and say, I really need something, I will try to find you. But also, you don't name yourselves the way you name yourselves in real life. I don't know who half these people are. Like, give me a clue. Keep it consistent. It's madness.
Greg, Niantic was listening. They were like, you're right, Greg. The friendsless, complete mess, the time commitment, awful. So what they'll do for you is they will shut down Harry Potter Wizards Unite. So you have more time to manage your friends list.
Did I have any friends in Harry Potter Wizards Unite? I think the answer is no, because I played it for a day.
What they're really doing is making space for you to download Pikmin Bloom.
I already have Pikmin Bloom. And
Oh,
again,
it's so good.
I've had this conversation. I am not doing community days for Pikmin Bloom. I am not adding this to my list of things.
All you have to do is get out and walk 10,000 steps,
Yeah,
right?
I do anyways.
That's what I
that
said
doesn't
to
need
him.
be a
Well, then
special
you're
day.
doing Pikmin Community Day.
Okay,
Easy peasy.
you have never been around Steve on community days. He's like, we're going to go for 15 hours. We're going to fill the world with flowers and Pokemon, and we're going to do it for content. And
That sounds
That's
delightful.
I would like to eat at some point. And not
I finally
walk
found a
around
person
this
to
mall.
bring onto this show that agrees with me, Greg.
You can eat and walk. It's a good. It
He
works.
cannot do those things. That is a surefire way to get Steve to choke. He's like a bird.
Hold on, I do want to talk about Pikmin Bloom, but for the Harry Potter Wizards Unite, this is off HarryPotterWizardsUnite.com, which I didn't know was a website.
Did anybody?
So I the Sylph Road had a bigger / more upvoted article about Wizards Unite closing than the Wizards Unite subreddit did. Maybe says something about the game. They say, I'm not going to read this whole press release, but today we are announcing that Wizards Unite will officially close on January 31st, 2022. The game will be removed from the App Store, Google Play, and Galaxy Store on December 6th, and players can no longer make in-game purchases as of December 6th, 2021. They talked about launching Wizards Unite. They have boosted rewards and reduced potion brew times, and there is still an event schedule. So there'll be like the Half-Blooded Prince Event 1 and Event 2 will be in November. Horcrux Hunt, Deathly Hollows Part 1, Part 2 in December. From what I read, they're completing the story. I didn't know the game had a story, but that's happening. So the reason we're talking about Harry Potter, also before we go too in depth, Pengu, did you play Harry Potter Wizards Unite?
I did not know. I didn't even play Pokemon Go until a year ago. So, noob in the
These
room.
are good choices.
Educate me.
These are
These are
very
really
good
good
choices
choices.
with your life. I approve.
Greg, why did you not like Harry Potter Wizards Unite?
So,
Because you're a Harry Potter fan, are you not?
yeah,
Well, maybe you were until a certain point in time.
yeah, I'm slowly walking away from Harry Potter and anything that I liked about it. The collection part of Harry Potter Unite never made sense for the Harry Potter story. Like, Harry Potter itself isn't about collecting things. And so that felt tagged on. Like, it was just like, oh, hey, this worked in Go, so you'll collect things in Harry Potter. And the other part is the spells were really complicated. Like, to do the good things, you had to, like, stop and really do the things in the right order, or, and it was hard to do while walking, to be like, oh, I have to do this spell. And you could, if you got really good at it, I suppose you could do it with one hand and keep moving, but that learning curve for me was like, I don't care enough to get this skill down. This isn't a skill that I want. The storyline was okay-ish. It felt like Harry Potter adjacent. Like what you want from Harry Potter is to like cast spells and fight off evil. And it's like, okay, you kind of do that, but also you collect things, and that's the main point. And have fun. And it just never grabbed me. It's just like, this is nothing that I want out of this game. And it's too complicated to walk and play. Like, I felt like I had to dedicate a lot of my time to paying attention to the game, where I don't feel that way with Pokemon GO, and I really don't feel that way with Pikmin.
This is the best way I could sum up how I feel about Harry Potter Wizards Unite. When you're so imagine going into like a legendary raid, not with 20 people, maybe with like 4 or 5 people. So it takes you like 2 minutes to do it. And so everyone's been in that situation. You're like, oh, this took forever. We finally did it. We had a couple seconds left. Now imagine that you're the person that it takes all like 20 balls to catch the Pokemon. And then think about that entire interaction of like, I spent so much time doing this raid, which was me not even looking at the screen, just tapping, and then getting frustrated that it just took so many Pokeballs to catch Darkrai or whatever. That felt like every interaction in Harry Potter. Like, it just felt way too long. Not saying that, like, oh, every Pokemon should just catch it in one ball and move on. Like, I'm not saying that.
That would be the dream. God, this catching stuff is such garbage.
So the main reason I wanted to bring up the Harry Potter is, one, it's made by Niantic, who does make Pokemon Go. And two, I think there was like some concern. I don't know. I think the complaint of, well, this is why I don't give mobile games money because they can disappear, is kind of a weird complaint. Because like when I think about, I think I gave Harry Potter like $5 or something. They had like a starter welcome kit or something of the sort, and I gave it $5, and I think I played Harry Potter for like 4 or 5 days, and now that it's shutting down, I don't feel like, man, what, that $5 is like I think of going to a movie and spending $15 and being like, yep, I gave that movie $15, I enjoyed my hour and a half, and I moved on. And so if Pokemon Go was ever to shut down, because this is what people were thinking of, like, oh, like if I gave Pokemon Go $100 in 5 years, I'm not thinking like, oh, that $100 is gone. I'm thinking in the sense of like a movie ticket almost.
Well, yeah, it's the conversation of you're paying for an experience and not for an actual thing that you will own forever. So I don't know.
I mean, I get it, but I also think the expectations of purchasing something in a game are different than purchasing something to just observe. They don't sell these microtransactions. They don't sell them as temporary items. They are selling you as things you get to keep as additions to your game. So the basis of that thought process is very different. I know going in to a movie, I am renting their space for the amount of time it takes to watch that movie. I know I am not taking anything away out with me. I may sneak my 3D glasses into my pocket and like, heck no, I paid for these and you don't get to recycle them. But the expectation of like a performance is I am paying for that experience, which is a very different thing than how they sell these games. Games have always traditionally been sold as you get to keep this thing. You get to use this thing multiple times. This is a part to enhance your game. There is a sense of ownership that they really rely on to get you to buy these things, where other media doesn't do that. But it's the same process of why I still buy music, because I want to own that thing, and I don't want a company to at some point say, we don't like that artist anymore, and we're moving your access to this music, which is a real thing. Like Spotify has lost a ton of artists where I'm very happy that I kept their music so that I get to keep it after. So there is a sense in this very new digital world of, I want to be able to keep this thing. You've sold this as an enhancement to my game and to my experience, and you're going to arbitrarily take that away from me because you shut it down or you didn't think it was worth it anymore. It's a very different presentation than I'm going to go and experience something. There is an experiential part, and if they sold it that way, I guarantee they would get less money. They very much rely on you thinking you're owning this and ignoring the fact that they rip it from you at any moment.
Yeah, I guess I think of it in the entertainment part. Like, I'm getting entertained for 90 minutes. And in Pokemon Go, or I don't know, maybe Harry Potter people feel like this, I'm getting entertained an hour a day. And if I want to do a community day, I am paying 99 cents, or I'm paying $9.99, whatever you decide if you want to spend money for that 6 hours.
But like with Pokemon Go, if you're, paying for raid passes or paying for Pokeballs, you use your 100 Pokeballs and then they're gone. Like, they're not a thing that you're expected to keep. And if you're paying for raid passes, you get your legend. If Pokemon Go shuts down, they give you like a 3-month warning, and you move it into home and you still get to keep it. So
yeah, keeping in mind that, people are worried about bank, right? Like, the good thing, the way that Nintendo does do this well, is they do give you plenty of warning to say, if you want to keep these digital things, move with you. But Steve, look at your Destiny thing. How mad were you when they took all your Destiny stuff away?
I was mad in that
times.
situation because they sold it as a 10-year game. And when they pitch a game called Destiny 1 and they go, oh, this one's Destiny 2, you're like, well, this is part of the 10-year life cycle. I think it's easy for Harry Potter fans, or just maybe the Pokemon Go community who didn't play Harry Potter, to go like, well, at least we can transfer our Pokemon, because there's not a lot of games that have that expectation. Like,
right.
What were you going to do with your, if Harry Potter Wizards Unite lasted 10 years, what was your end goal? Like, what did you plan to like keep or move? Like, Pokemon is in a very unique spot in the sense that they try to let you move Pokemon over, and the fact that Go has compatibility with Bank is already kind of not above and beyond, but some people never thought it was going to come. But then I think about like games of like World of Warcraft, like that ends at some point, doesn't it?
It hasn't yet. As much as people want it to, no. Like, but that's also the same reason why I don't buy many cosmetics or things for in those games either. Because I fundamentally know that is a dead end. That at some point, I will leave this behind, and I have spent literally money on nothing.
Yeah, there's like the Battle Pass in Unite. We have no Unite news. Unite is in an awful place right now, for the record. There's like this real.
We know that the pass is ending early.
Yeah, it ends on. It's supposed to end on Tuesday night, but it's ending like Tuesday morning because of maintenance, I think.
Yeah.
Unite's in a not. We can't go down a Unite hole. We don't have enough time. But anyways, there's this weird thing where people are sending 3 Pokemon to bottom lane and 1 Pokemon to top lane. The Pokemon they're sending to top lane is Lucario, because Lucario is so good that can solo top lane. So if you look at a lot of high ranked competitive matches, it's just Lucario versus Lucario on the top, and then 6 Pokemon in the bottom, and then the 2 Pokemon in the jungle. It's awful. It's really bad. But the Battle Pass is ending soon, and I haven't played a lot of Unite this season. 1, because of what I've just explained. 2, because I've been moving. And I'm thinking, like, do I pay the money to extend the Battle Pass to get the Gengar skin, which is a really cool skin, and I get all the clothes along the way, and then I think to myself, I'm never going to wear those clothes because I spent $20 on the Cramorant clothes, and I'm going to wear
Gengar.
That.
The Gengar is so cute.
The Gengar is cute,
is
but
really
it doesn't
cute.
matter if you never play it.
I don't play Gengar. But this goes back to the Pokemon Go Harry Potter thing of like, oh, I put this money into the game and the game is now closing. Like, I don't expect Unite to last forever. And I also don't expect to ever wear 99% of the clothes I get in the Battle Pass. They exist. They're there. So I don't think I'm going to complete the Battle Pass with my money. But I don't know. There's like, I guess I'm very glad that Destiny thing happened to me, where I collected everything in Destiny 1. I spent all the money in Destiny 1. I spent hours getting an emblem I would never equip just because it was missing a hole in my collection. And when they were like, none of this transfers, I am broken inside where I cannot do this for another game. Because with Unite, I was like, oh, I like all the clothes in Unite. I like all the costumes in Unite. I like Unite. I would like to collect everything. But also, Unite is not going to last 20 years. I don't know. Maybe somebody timestamp this in 20 years if people are still playing Unite. Lucario's still in the top lane.
20 years. It's going to be wild.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to keep on being devil's advocate here. But like, even if you did keep it and Destiny 1 was still a thing and you got all your thing, but you like moved on to Destiny 2, how often are you like going back to look at everything that you have collected in this game, even if it was still around?
That's a good point. I think I still wouldn't like equip it or use it, but like with Pokemon Home, I like seeing that, oh, I filled out this collection. And so when I'm adding new things to the collection, that's when I look at the old collection and I go, yeah, I did that. Even though I'm not like withdrawing that like Sunkern. It's like, you can stay there. It's fine. I got you. You'll exist in this box forever. It's all silly.
Mm-hmm. Like I paid $20 for Unite to get money in there. That's all the money I'll ever put in because I thought it was worth a $20 game. If I had walked into Target and had to buy the game for $20, I would have been happy with that purchase. Anything beyond that is just, to me, at this point in my life, pointless. I don't need virtual anything. I don't need to pretend that anybody cares about my achievements. Online achievements have never meant anything to me. I've never cared if somebody gave me a sticker. I don't care if somebody recognizes me for things that I do. And if you're going to recognize me for something, give me money for it so I can buy something that I want. Otherwise, like your words, useless to me in most cases. I like hearing that you enjoy my things, but if like your sole recognition of me is a medal, nah, I'm good. I don't need the medal or the sticker or the little block that
the medals in
hundreds of other people can get for doing minimal amount of work. Like if everybody can get this same achievement, that achievement is useless to me.
I like achievements still.
I clearly am not a person who likes medals at all. I'm pointing in the YouTube video.
I have one. I won a thing.
Congrats.
This one is because, it's an actual award that carried a bunch of stuff with it.
And you're saying mine aren't? Rude.
No. I'm saying getting an achievement saying I've collected 15 of grass types in Pokemon Home.
It's so satisfying.
Meaningless.
I like those medals a lot. How dare.
What had the medals in game? Was that Black and White that had the Medal Master?
Yes.
Pointless.
I think I found that to be pointless because there was no way to ever see them after you collected them, right?
No, there was. It was online.
Oh yeah, you had, but not in the game. You had to go to like a website. Yeah, that was the disconnect for me. Is I couldn't like with the gym badges, you can open up your profile and you're like, oh, I got 7 out of 8, and then you can like shine them in some games.
In one game, you can shine them in one game, and you can shine them in that game
3,
again.
Diamond, Pearl, Platinum.
One generation.
Hey, this is off
because they brought it back.
This is off fox2now.com. It's those local news websites. Missouri. What? Tower Grove Park prepares for massive Pokemon GO event. The International Safari Zone event is coming to St. Louis. There will be thousands of tourists. They say there may be thousands of tourists coming to the park from Friday, November 12th to Sunday, November 14th. They then go on to explain what Pokemon GO is. Event planners in St. Louis Park are planning for something big. They already have 2 towers going up in the park. I believe the cell towers.
Yep.
Quote, happy to have yet another opportunity to welcome the community to the park, said the Tower Grove Park Director of Development, David LaBeour. The east end of the park will be closed to vehicle traffic, but the park will remain open for foot traffic. Tower Grove Park is warning patrons that there will be disruptions on paths as technical and event features are put into place. Thousands of people are expected to play in person each day, and tickets are sold out. No more tickets are issued on site. We already know that. The last event held in Philadelphia had tens of thousands of people. This was the first Pokemon GO Safari Zone held in the United States in 2019. Did they have a Safari Zone down there before?
I don't think so.
What are they talking about? Maybe they did? The event in St. Louis is the third Safari Zone held by the company, limited to people who have purchased
This
tickets.
year. That's what it's held by the company this year. Because it's Philadelphia. What was the other one?
Oh, yeah, Philadelphia. Yeah.
Philadelphia, St. Louis, and what was the third?
This was the first Pokemon GO Safari Zone held in the United States since 2019. 2019. Are they just referring to GoFest?
Yeah, they're referring to GoFest. I have to look up what was the third one.
I mean, it's local news. Of course they would get something wrong. I brought this up because Greg and myself and Will are going to this. Except there was really a midlife crisis of me being like, can we just not go?
And what did I
But Greg
tell
is
you?
saying we have to go.
Exactly, we have to go.
But do we?
Yes, I did not take this time off and vacation and plan on going to a different city for you to be like, did we? No, we have to go. We have made this plan.
As long
People
as
are
we give the
expecting us
hotel
to be there.
24 hours notice, we can get our money back.
No, we are going. There are eager people willing and happy to meet us.
Okay, the real news, though, is Pikmin Community Day is the Saturday. We're playing on Friday. We need to at least walk 10,000 steps before we get back in the car.
We can do 10,000 steps when we get back home.
I might be too tired.
What?
Oh,
You're not
really?
even going to drive. You're going to sleep in the back of the car.
I can't sleep in cars. Too stressful. Can we talk about Pikmin Bloom for a second?
I don't know what the third one is. Was it Liverpool?
Yes,
Is that the
Liverpool.
third event?
That happened first. It was Liverpool, then Pittsburgh, then St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yes. Pengu, tell me about Pikmin Bloom.
What do you want to know about Pikmin Bloom? I finally downloaded Pikmin Bloom because you keep tweeting about it, and I am very easily influenced, apparently.
That's how we got you on the show.
Apparently, I just keep getting reeled in step by step. But I have planted lots of flowers. I've been trying to play Pikmin Bloom while playing Pokemon Go, while running, and it's been an adventure. But yeah, I've been planting lots of flowers, been having lots of fun collecting my little Pikmins and like nectaring their heads. It took me so long to figure out you didn't have to throw each nectar like a Pokeball.
I just discovered this.
And that's a total game changer.
Hold it and you move it around and they jump up and get it. Okay, here's the number one question that I have on Twitter about Pikmin. What is going on in this game? This is the number one. When I said we want to be my friend, everybody said, sure. What is happening in this game?
I'm still not entirely sure, but it's very cute and there are a lot of glowy flowers. I'm like, do you really need more? That's enough for me.
Okay, so I think I have not looked up anything for Pikmin. I am sure just like there was an explosion of Pokemon Go YouTubers, I am sure there's like 2 Pikmin Bloom YouTubers that have maybe exploded.
This is my chance.
I'm sure there's a subreddit. So from my understanding, there is the exploration feature.
Expedition or exploration? Are those different? Are there two
They
things?
are different.
Oh,
They
well,
are
that's
different.
convenient.
So I think the exploration feature is just the community working together to put flowers everywhere. So if you look at the map, you'll see where flowers have been, even if you haven't planted the flowers yourself. You can like zoom out and kind of look at like me would be the Twin City area. And you can see that there are areas where no one has ever walked or touched flowers, and that will be gray on the map. So that's like, I think the first part of the game is like, can we get the whole world to be flowers? Which is obviously a long-term goal. And then there's like personal short-term goals of if you go into like the Pikmin decks, you can get different kind of Pikmin. So you can get like a Pikmin that has like a mushroom growing out of his head, or you can get a Pikmin that has like a boat growing out of his head. So there are location-based Pikmin, and I think those are like, not the shinies, but like the rare ones of if you use your scanner near a restaurant, you might get a restaurant Pikmin. If you use your scanner near a park, you might get one of the park Pikmin. If you use a scanner next to the road, you might get one of the road Pikmin. So there's
what
a
is
bunch.
the scanner?
Yeah, what's the scanner? Is that
The
like the item scanner?
The
the
scanner is
megaphone?
that
Are you
like
talking about the
megaphone that is above your flowers. It's the little megaphone, and when you activate it, it has a cooldown of like 5 hours. So there's like whistle, your planter, your flowers, and the very top is your... Oh, it's called the detector.
Okay.
So if I look at the detector right now, it says there's a place nearby, and that place is like a mini mart. But if you go into the Pikmin decks, which I don't know how to get to right now, I think maybe you click on your name. Oh, yeah. So you click on your name, and then you click on the little Pikmin icon. So there's a restaurant, cafe, sweet shop, movie theater, pharmacy, zoo, forest. So like the forest Pikmin, they look like little owls. And then the waterside post office Pikmin, art gallery Pikmin. Oh, so the art gallery Pikmin, they look like little pictures. So I have like 2 of these. There's a bunch. And they're both roadside Pikmin.
I'm not seeing the scanner thing. Do I have to like be a level to unlock it?
You have to be a level to unlock it.
I think you have to be like level 10.
I'm
You
level 11.
You don't have no clue about what levels are.
I
You
don't.
keep telling me, oh, you'll get these things. I'm at level 13, and I still don't have the one thing you said I would get at level 10.
Yeah, there are raids. Yeah, I don't know when you get the scanner thing or the detector.
Wait, there are raids? Is that what the big flowers are?
No.
No, the big flowers are just big flowers for real.
Yeah, I don't know what those do yet.
Nobody does. That's the thing. Everybody's like, what is this game? What does it do? And it's like, no clue. There is no internal explanation.
There are
whatsoever.
expeditions which are sending your Pikmin out to get stuff, and then the Pikmin will bring that stuff back. And then there are, at like 6, maybe it's like level 16 or something, there are different expeditions where you can send your Pikmin to like beat up some mushrooms. And then it'll say like 5 people can join you, but no one ever joins me. And then there's like a countdown, like a raid battle, where it'll say like, oh, it took you 5 minutes to beat up these mushrooms. And it's like, well, if you had more people, you would have beat it up faster. And then
Is there a time limit on beating up the mushrooms?
No, you can beat them up forever.
Oh, okay.
So the first time I beat up mushrooms, it took like 45 minutes.
You can beat them up forever. It's great. Murder them mushrooms.
Wait, one thing unrelated to this, but I was looking a little bit on Reddit about people playing Pikmin Bloom, and one person said to note that if you send something out on an expedition, like it moves in real time based on like where you are, and they said they took a flight across the country and sent a Pikmin out on an expedition. They were like a beta tester, and then they went home, and the Pikmin took 45 days to like walk across the country back to them. So like something to keep in mind.
That poor little Pikmin.
It was kind of cool to get to Minnesota because I had so many expeditions in Milwaukee. So I was like sending the Pikmin back and to be like, we'll see you in like 6 days. I'm like, okay.
Okay, bye, little friends.
See you later. Okay, I think it's great though. I think it's like the opposite of Harry Potter. Like Pokemon Go was this very, some people consider Pokemon Go not a game. They're like, oh, it's boring or it doesn't appeal to me. I think Pokemon Go strikes a pretty good balance of like grabbing your attention for maybe an hour a day, and then like, unless you're super hardcore, you don't really have to pay attention to it. And then Harry Potter was like, you want way too much attention. And Niantic did say that. Niantic was like, Harry Potter is a more advanced, like a hardcore version of Pokemon Go. And I kind of see why they said that. But Pikmin is like, I'm going to start planting flowers. I'm going to send them out on expeditions. I'm going to feed them nectar. And then I'm going to go into Target for 30 minutes, buy a giant Twix bar, come back out. And then in that time, I didn't interact with the app. But when I get back to my car, I felt like I've accomplished a bunch of stuff without having the app constantly open like Pokemon Go.
Yes, but then I don't interact with the app and I come back and 40% of my battery is gone.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, that's true. It's really good at just draining your battery.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, it's one of the few things that I say it can track me always. Because if you don't have it on track you always, then it is mostly useless. Like, you have to keep it open so it knows where you're going, or you have to have it on always. Either way, it's a battery drain. So I do hope that they do something to, like, deal with that issue.
I
Make
kind
it
of
run
like...
lighter. Because that was the problem when Go first started, too, if I remember correctly. Like, people were like, oh, I played Pokemon Go for half an hour, and I literally have to charge my phone.
Yeah, I remember that.
So does it not do anything if you have it like location turned off in the background? Because I turned mine off because my phone kept yelling at me because it was like, Pikmin keeps checking your location and it's draining all your battery. So I turned it off, and like I haven't actually been checking how much lower my step counts are. But
I think it can't. I think it will get your step total because the phone will keep your step total, but it won't know where you were on your path.
Oh, I
because
see.
It didn't know your location that entire time. And since that's part of its thing, like fill the world with flowers or whatever we're doing with this game, if you have that off, then it can't track you, which means if you want to plant flowers, you have to leave it open so that it is always there. And it's fine. Like, I don't need it to know where I am, but I think it also pulls, like, we went to dinner the other night over in Dinkytown, and I had it tracking over there, so it showed that I went all the way to Dinkytown and then came back to my house, and it kept that path. If I didn't have that on, it would have been like you were here, then you popped over here, then you popped back.
So do you keep your flowers planting just all the time in the background?
I only do it when I'm doing my daily constitutionals.
Okay.
It took me a lot of time to get those flower petals, and I'm not going to waste it by walking around my house.
But then your house will be filled with flowers.
My house is filled with flowers.
My house is definitely filled with flowers.
It's a whole
I like
bunch
looking
of
in the
garbage
neighborhood and
right
seeing
now.
other people's houses filled with flowers, which is only one other house like 4 blocks down.
Oh, you can go up and knock cake. You want to be people friends?
Yeah, I was wondering earlier when you said that you can see everyone else's flowers, because that was something I was wondering about, because I only see my flowers, so clearly I'm the only person in the city playing this game.
Yeah, you can see other people's flowers.
There are
because when we got to
people up in
Dinkytown,
my
that was
neighborhood
that was the very first time I was in Dinkytown, and there were flowers everywhere already.
Yeah. Well, they're college students. What else are they going to do but play Pikmin?
Play Pikmin. Yeah, Pikmin's pretty good. I like it a lot. I only plant flowers when I know I'm walking. So
Right.
if I'm like
That's all I
walking
do.
around Target, or if I because of Pikmin, I like put a scarf on, I put a coat on, and I was like, I need to walk like a mile because I'm so close to the next level, and I want to make sure I get my steps in. And I ended up walking 2 miles because I forgot where I lived. Really just walked right past my house and I was in the zone. And all of a sudden I'm like 20 minutes. I'm in another neighborhood.
No, this only makes sense because you just moved. Like, people, it's a brand new house. It makes sense. But that's the funniest thing I've heard in a while. Oh my God.
I was like, I'm gonna walk 2 blocks, turn 2 blocks, I'm gonna go to complete square, and then after like 20 minutes I'm like, oh, I never turned.
Forgot about the fourth side of the square.
Oh, he was never seen again.
I was waiting to see the busy street that I was planning on turning on, and I just walked right through it. Pikmin's good. I like it a lot. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we have some TCG news and a couple other news articles. Not a lot this week, but we're leading up to Diamond and Pearl, so obviously we'll have a lot next week's episode for that. There's rumors and leaks, and people got early copies of Diamond and Pearl. That's out. We're not going to be talking about any of that. Look, the game is like 12 days away, so I'm sure if you care about that, you've already looked it up. But we'll take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll talk about the rest of the stuff. This is really dumb. No one clipped this. I just realized last week that Paris Hilton and Hilton Hotels are like the same. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I I just realized this a week ago when I was listening to a podcast. I was like, I was like, I don't know why she's rich. I didn't know this. And we are back from our break. We got some TCG stuff. Let's start with Fusion Strike, which I believe comes out this week. Also, full disclosure, the
other than
Pokemon.
Steve played the TCG in this current podcast, or is this a Steve only thing? It's a Steve only thing. Good.
All right.
Burn through this one fast.
You can ask any questions, Greg. I got answers for you. Oh, so full disclosure, the Pokemon Company did send me a booster box of Fusion Strike. They sent it to my old PO box, so it's lost forever. I don't know. They told me eventually they'll forward it to my new PO box, but we'll see. But they did send me one. I haven't opened any of them, but the set does come out November 12th. If you are curious, let's say you're like, oh yeah, it's easier to find TCG cards. Should I get Fusion Strike? Should I not? I'm gonna say the answer is no. Don't get Fusion Strike. If there's any cards you should be maybe buying, get Celebrations. Fusion Strike is over 260 cards. There's a Mew, there's a Bolton, there's a Chandelure, there's a Gengar VMAX. You're not going to pull any of these cards. There's too many cards. It's 99% filler. If you're playing competitively, obviously, of course, buy the cards you need to buy. But that set is... Oh, there's a Genesect card. That set is out. They announced a new set coming out February 25th. It is 170 cards, which Fusion Strike is 260. So this is 90 less cards. So I'm already more into this set than the last set. This is coming out February 25th. So that's relatively close to Pokemon Day, which is February 26th, I think. If I remember correctly.
I think that's right.
It's called Sword and Shield Brilliant Stars. It introduces Pokemon V-Star. V-Star is an evolved form for Pokemon V. Yes, V cards still exist. Insert your joke here. Each Pokemon V-Star has a potent V-Star power, and each player can use only one V-Star power per game. V-Star powers come in two varieties, abilities and attacks. Both can drastically alter the course of battle. As you might expect, Pokemon V-Star also have higher HP, higher damage attacks to back up their V-Star powers, and like Pokemon V, they are rewarded with 2 prize cards if they are knocked out. And they show an Arceus V-Star, which makes sense since that game is coming out relatively soon. And then they show a Charizard V-Star, which looks to be bad.
But it's a Charizard.
Yeah, it can't be bad as a Charizard. What are you talking about?
They have definitely mastered the... It only took them 25 years to be like, maybe we should just print Charizard in every set. Charizard cards in general are normally bad, though. Like, it is very... Like, the last Charizard I remember being, like, good competitively was Reshiram Charizard. And Reshiram is always good, and Charizard's always bad, so... Charizard got lucky in that situation.
So, okay. You have to have a V card down to put a V star on top of it? Is this?
Yes.
Okay.
So there have been other mechanics like that, but another mechanic that would sound familiar would be Mega Evolution. You have to have Gardevoir down already. Next turn, you can Mega Evolve Gardevoir. There was also called Breaks, and a very popular break card was Greninja. So you played on Greninja. And then you play Greninja Break on top of that.
Is this continuing the trend of spiraling health and spiraling power?
It's actually kind of a step back. So normally, if I remember correctly, like a VMAX card was 3 prizes. And they are going back to this being 2 prizes. And I think the reason being is because people, even though the cards had more damage or more health, like losing a whole prize was still not worth playing it. So that was like a small, it's not like, it sounds like a small change to people who don't play, but like obviously managing your prizes. So like in order to win the game, you would have to take 6 prizes. And if you're playing these powerful V card Pokemon, those are 2 prize cards, so you only have to knock out 3. And then if you're playing something like a tag team, which I believe was 3 prizes, then you only have to knock out 2. So people got really weird in like what they prioritize and like what they're putting in their deck, because it affects how you build a deck. So I think they're still trying to find that balance. I don't know. I actually don't know how healthy the TCG is at this point compared to when it was when I was playing, and I was playing when it was Charizard, Reshiram Charizard, and Zekrom Pikachu, and I think those cards are still playable.
So,
but
they have double Turbo Energy card listed on this page. What is Turbo about this?
Double Turbo Energy.
Yeah.
Let's see what it does. As long as this card is attached to the Pokemon, it provides 2 colorless energy. The attacks of this Pokemon do 20 dam. Oh, so yeah, so Turbo Energy would be like... So for Arceus V, Trinity Charge needs 2 energy, but it can be any energy, so you could just play 1 Turbo on it. Which is actually really great, because Turbo says it reduces the damage done, but Trinity Charge doesn't do any damage. So you don't get that...
Oh, I see.
So you don't get that penalty.
Okay. But because that penalty seems like a lot to me, but
minus 20 damage.
Yeah.
Most situations are usually 10 to 20 damage. Like, oh, I'm just 10 damage short, so it matters. Like when Black and White first came out, there was a Reshiram and a Zekrom card, and they both had 130 HP, but they both could only do max 120 damage. So a lot of people would then try to figure out a way to do that extra 10 damage, because you need to do 130 and it only did 120. So the TCG is very much built around. It's like it's also in like VGC, like, oh, if I only had one more turn, I would have won.
Right.
Like, oh, they lived on 1 HP.
What is the deal with Sharon's Care? Put one of your star Pokemon? What does that mean?
Sharon's Care. Oh, Charon. Put one of your colorless Pokemon that have any damage. Yes. So yeah, Charon, because he's a normal type gym leader, he takes advantage of like colorless Pokemon. So he would probably, I don't know if he's actually good. Put one of your color Pokemon. Yeah, that seems fine. That seems really good for like an Arceus, because you're taking all the damage off of it and then replaying it back down. Okay. Last bit of TCG news is the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live has been delayed until 2022.
Oof.
Which is weird, because they just announced that this app existed like a month ago.
Yeah, they just announced it and said by the end of the year, and they're like, nope.
This is off NintendoLife.com. Back in September, the Pokemon Company revealed the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live, a new app that was expected to launch sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, plans have changed, and the Pokemon Company has made the tough decision to delay the game until 2022 to offer a more polished experience. This will apply to the soft launch of the MOBA device that was open for the beta for the PC. They did not say what part of 2022 that would be.
That's on purpose.
Additionally, some of you may have received code cards with the TCG Live branding as part of some of the TCG products. Though the TCG Live is not available at the time, please know these code cards are still redeemable for the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online, which is the current app. This is like a blessing for me, because we're getting Diamond and Pearl in like 10 days, and I just moved, and obviously Diamond and Pearl will probably take a solid 3 months of my life, and then Arceus Legends comes out, and that will take time. And so not having, and if Unite wasn't bad, I would probably still be playing Unite. So not having another app to deal with, because even if you just wanted to get into the TCG, like, oh, TCG Live is when I'm going to start playing the TCG, you're like, cool. But as somebody who has hundreds of old booster packs in Pokemon Trading Card Game Online and boxes of code cards that I have yet to redeem, like, I I probably need a solid week of maintenance of like scanning these in, opening these packs, keeping some packs closed because they said if you have some packs closed, they'll be converted into gems when this app launches, and you have to like trade all these other cards because it will only take 4. So if you have like 5 Mewtwo EXs, you should probably trade one of the Mewtwo EXs to a friend so they have a Mewtwo EX, because otherwise you lose the Mewtwo EX forever. So there's just so much maintenance. That was the stressful part for me. Like, I don't have time for the maintenance. And they said once this app launches, TCG Live, TCG Online will shut down and you won't be able to get back in. But I don't, they didn't say why. They didn't say what went wrong. But I think it's fine. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, TCGO is still working.
Sounds to me like somebody was like, we should announce that we're going to have it by the end of the year, and that'll force us to have it done by the end of the year. And a month later, they're like, we're not going to have this done by the end of the year.
Yeah, there's a couple of big things that have been delayed that I'm like, oh, it makes things easier. But also, yeah. I have a fundamental question for Steve.
Okay.
Now that all of the Pokemon Celebration Parade figures are back in Pokemon Center, as a person who is like, oh, I should have gotten all those parade figures, what is your decision now that you actually can?
They added a bunch of train stuff too.
They did. They're all still bad, but here we are.
I would... Hold on, I gotta search Parade. I don't think the Parade is that bad. I think the Parade is better than the train.
What? I mean, we still have Yarfing Torchic and Yarfing...
Excuse me?
and Yarfing Froakie to deal with in this Parade.
Are we sure the Parade is done?
And it's not done, but all the pieces that are currently released are back and available, including the start of it, which is your whole thing of why you weren't going to go forward and buy it. Well, it's there, bud.
Yeah, but 30 plus 30, that's $150,
yeah,
Greg.
But you were complaining like you missed your shot. So here we are. This is your shot. This is putting the pedal to the metal. You can get all the pieces. Are you going to get it? Because you were saying you couldn't because the first one was gone. So I'm holding you to your words. Are you going to buy it now that you can get all the pieces? Is your collector-itis, given that you have to move all this stuff, where are you standing?
So as somebody who just moved, and I got a small story. I bought the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Switch Lite, $199. Bought it from Best Buy. Got delivered this morning. Gonna use it for a giveaway. Not actually gonna keep it for myself. Gonna give back to the people who watch on Twitch or people who support through Slack or listen to the podcast and whatnot. And Irene was like, "Oh, you bought that?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's for a giveaway." She's like, "Oh, you didn't get one for yourself?" And I was like, "No, it's $199, and I don't need a Switch Lite to collect dust." Thinking about all the other things in my house that collect dust. And my wife, she goes, "Oh, you're not a true collector then," and then walks away from me.
Is she wrong?
She's not wrong.
No, she's not wrong. But I'm like, $150 for some parade figures that'll collect dust on my shelf, just like a $200 Switch Lite.
That's like a Pokeball and a half.
That's true. I have those metal Pokeballs.
See, I have the original.
Yeah, see, I wish I don't have them all. That's the problem. If I had the old Pokemon DSIs and DS Lites and 3DSs, they're so cool. Did you get the Dialga Palkia Switch?
Heck no, I don't need that thing.
You have This is the entire conversation.
Yeah.
You need all of them. You've started the collection.
I don't need them. I'm not a collector. You're the big collector here. You're the one that's like, I have to have one of everything. I have to catch all the Pikmin. I have to go to all the community days for 50 hours. But when when the brass tacks are in front of me, you're like, nah, I'm gonna skip on that parade. I'm not buying another light for myself. And you put pride in your collection. That is your identity, and you're tossing it aside. If you're not a collector, Steve, what are you?
Confused.
Also,
let me tell you, when you're packing,
Christmas stuff came out and it's not good.
There's some good Christmas Piplup stuff. There's a Piplup riding a mantine or something.
Mantike.
Mantike. There are some like Piplup keychains.
Those are good. I'm saying the train. The train is not good. There's nothing about that holiday train.
It's because it doesn't have Piplup on it.
Well, absolutely. But also, like, they decided in the middle of the train to put Snorlax asleep on the train tracks.
I kind of like that.
Where else would Snorlax be?
But it's like, where does that go?
I think it goes in front of the train.
It has to go in front, so they've just decided to add a new front part to the train.
It could go in the back of the train, I guess.
But then why does anybody care? Did it fall off the train?
Oh, this is an audio podcast. But I encourage everyone to go to PokemonCenter.com and zoom into this Machamp's face on the Delibird Holiday Express.
So
Snorlax.
good. I mean, it's poorly painted, but it's very good.
There's a lot happening.
It's very concerned that Snorlax is about to get run over by a train.
Pengu, did you order the $99 Piplup Pokemon Squishy Plush 19-inch?
I have not, but it's been getting texted to me daily, and I have been fantasizing about squishing the squishy Piplup. So it might still happen, but I do have a lot of penguins already. I don't know if I can justify getting another penguin.
I guess you're not a true collector.
I am not claiming to be, so.
But you could be as happy as the person in these photos.
The girl in the photos is very happy.
I'm sure she would be. I
thrilled.
was trying to think whether it'd be as squishy as the Pokemon Center Ice Cube, which is very squishy. And since like squishy is in the name, it must be extra super duper squishy.
True. I mean, you know, it's that weird polyester stuff with the beads in it.
Yeah.
Fair. Like Ice Cube is a good squishy. He's like the good kind of squishy. The polyester beads squishy is not as satisfying.
If you get nothing, $11 to get the squishy Piplup keychain. It's $11.
That's true. You can get
just
the keychain.
You get a little hand squishy when you need it for those moments of stress.
I have been squishing a bubble tea in my hands, but I dropped it on the floor, so now I'm squishing it with my feet because I do appreciate having squishy things in my hands at all times.
I will say the holiday Piplup pin is very cute.
I haven't seen the pin, I don't think.
Piplup wrapped up in ribbon, adorable.
It's a 3-pack. It's the Delibird, Pikachu, Piplup. It's $20.
I'll put
our 3 favorite penguins, Piplup, Delibird, and Pikachu.
I mean, Delibird is kind of a penguin.
Delibird's definitely a penguin.
2 things.
Presents out of its butt.
Okay. 2 things. Greg is correct. The Christmas selection this time around is bad. It was much better last year.
Okay. The one thing that I did want, I wanted the Snom holiday sweater.
I ordered it.
And it's sold out. Because I'm not a medium or a small. There's no world that I'm a medium or a small.
Number 2 is they increased the price of the record player.
Yeah.
It was like $320 at one point, right? And now it's $400. It's the same record player. They just doubled it.
And now it's more rare because there's fewer of them.
Like, what? I wanted the record player, but the fact that they jacked the price up like $80, I don't want it anymore. You advertised it for over a week at a lower price. You can't just increase it.
Yeah, they can.
I mean, yes, they can.
Yeah, they can, and they did. That's how retail works.
I'm very upset about this increase.
I will say, the only thing of the holiday collection that I actually kind of want.
It was the Chin Chow plush, right?
I almost wanted the Snom One Piece pajamas until I realized it came with a hood, and then I was out.
What?
Because hoods are awful. No, the only thing that I actually kind of want is the Galarian Ponyta winter knit beanie. Because that thing is so cute. I wear the heck out of that thing.
I want to preference this is a family-friendly podcast. We're a family-friendly family here. But if we're talking about One Piece pajamas, we're all thinking it. You cannot go to the bathroom without taking that entire thing off. Like, you just can't.
Well, some of them have like the butt flaps.
Yeah,
right?
butt flaps exist for a reason.
I don't think, unfortunately,
These don't have
because
butt flaps.
we
Yeah,
need
these
to
are
be as accurate as possible when it comes to Pokemon merchandise on this podcast. And I'm looking at this guy's butt right now.
Yeah.
There's no
Of course
flap.
you
There's
are.
no flap back there.
There's no
I
flap.
mean,
And for
yeah,
$60,
you take it off. It's a small price to pay for the utter plush
Look,
comfort of walking around in a
You should not
onesie.
be drinking water or liquids an hour, at least 2 hours before you go to bed. And you're not putting this on until you go to bed.
What? I feel like you're putting this on as soon as you get home from work. I mean, assuming that you go out.
No. They're clearly
You're not wearing this all
labeled as
night?
pajamas. And you do not wear pajamas during the day.
I do like that it has the hood.
The hood is awful.
I feel like for $60, it needs butt flap.
It does. Like the Snom holiday pajama pantsuit. I literally had the thing up. I had my credit card in hand, and I was clicking through the pictures, and because I had ignored the hooded part because I thought, well, maybe it's detachable. It's not. And then
You need to cut it.
Yeah,
100%
scissors
out.
are detachable.
Okay,
So
I
cut
would
it
have
and
to
sew.
cut it, and then I have to sew the fringe because I would not want it to start unraveling from my poor cut. Nah.
Yeah.
They should offer a non-hooded version, or it should detach.
What's wrong
Because
with
it
hoods?
does-
Hoods are so cozy.
Hoods are awful.
That's
They
why
are
Greg
in the way
hates
when
me.
you lean back. People grab onto them. People put things in there without
How
your...
old are you? How old are
without
the
your-
people around you?
Look,
Who's grabbing your hood?
people in this world are wild.
Is there something
and
about
they
your
do
husband we
wild
don't know
things,
about?
and I'm not putting up with it anymore. I am not. Ever since I was a child, people tug it on your hood. Nah, it's not worth it. Plus,
So what you're saying is that one of
What?
these coveted mod hoodies that you own is just going to collect dust because it has a hood.
absolutely, it is literally sitting next to my dresser, not on the floor, but off the floor. And Brent, my husband, said, "Oh, I'd wear that, except I can't fit into it." I said, "Yeah, it is literally just going to sit here because I will never wear it because I will never wear a hoodie." Also, hoods are like the worst thing to actually keep your head warm because if there's any wind, it just cups in. It cups to the front and lets you squish it closed. And then I've got this thing squished around my face. Hoods are awful.
I feel like everything Greg is saying about like hoods and pajamas and onesies and everything is just so diametrically opposed to everything I believe about what is comfortable.
The Leafeon Glaceon t-shirt, however, I may have to purchase this because it is outstanding.
I don't.
so
The theme of underwater Christmas. I respect that somebody probably watched The Little Mermaid before they went into this, but I just don't dig it. It's just a very like weird.
What do you have against Atlanteans and Atlanteans? All five of them listen
Atlantis
to
is
our
my
show.
favorite shiny song. Thank you very much. I don't know. I'm very disappointed about this Christmas offering. I think I liked the last Christmas better because they did a lot of like gold and white and black stuff, and I'm very into that aesthetic. And I liked the subtleness of their Christmas stuff last year.
Didn't
It
you
felt
get
like
the
something
Moo Moo
you
milk
could.
plate and it rubbed off?
Yeah, I bought 2 of those. One to collect, obviously, to put next to my Ancient Mew. The other one was like, let's use these, and then they fell apart. They're now used for cat.
Okay, but the winter pillow
trays.
cover, which is blue, green, gray, and red, those are very subtle and nice.
Those are, but I got the pillows last year, so I don't
But
need.
you got black and white pillows, not these color ones. And the red
I don't
one
need any
has
more Christmas
Gardevoir on the
pillows.
back.
You always need more Christmas pillows.
These are Christmas colors.
Oh, they are really cool in the back. I didn't realize they had a back to them.
Yeah, and there's Pineco and all. I mean,
Oh, these are pillow covers. These aren't even real pillows.
yeah, you can put them on anything.
I'm kind of into that.
They're very good, and you should.
We
buy
just got a
them
new
for
living room
Christmas.
rug. It's very
You got the
our couch-
Pokemon one?
No, I did not get the That was stolen art. We got so our when we moved in, the house was already most of the rooms were already painted. They were painted like the standard like HGTV bluish gray.
Yep.
Which is like a good color. It's fine.
It's neutral.
And then we have a gray couch, and Irene was like, our room is too boring. And so I got a very loud rug from Target that just arrived. So maybe I get these pillows. They spice up the gray couch.
Yeah. And you get an extra set to give me for Christmas.
Okay, all right. Make your Christmas list now, Greg.
My Christmas list is continually and constantly updated.
Good to know. All right. Question of the week. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, because, well, we can't do Pokemon of the week because Will's not here.
He's on a mission. Where is my
He's
question
on a
of the
mission
week?
to Teja. All right. Welcome to the question of the week. Did I ask? Oh, I did ask. Good.
You
for
did.
me.
Let's do Al's question.
We did this.
No, he didn't.
We talked about it for the first half of the show.
We did not talk about this. We talked about the topic, but we didn't answer
Oh, okay.
why do you think Go... So Al says, why do you think Go has managed to last so long when Wizards Unite has died less than halftime? We didn't bring this up, but I'm going to assume that part of the reason why they decided to close was licensing fees.
Yeah, I'm sure. One of the things I think why Pokemon Go... So what Pokemon Go does directly also ties to what you do in the game, right? Like, you collect in the game. Everything that you did in the main series game and everything that a lot of people like in the main series games, you could still do in Pokemon Go. What everybody likes about Harry Potter, which is imagining that they're a wizard and in a school and having hijinks, did not translate over into the game. So I think there was a fundamental disconnect from how people interact and feel about Harry Potter to how they felt about a clone of Pokemon Go, sort of with Harry Potter shellacked on top. I just don't think it was a good fit from the start, and it wasn't at all what Harry Potter fans wanted from a game.
When we did Go Fest at the art park,
Yeah.
and I had the stream backpack on, and then you guys left for food, and then everyone gave me a weird look when I said, I can't eat right now, because I was so exhausted from walking and with the very hot backpack on all day. When you guys left, the couple, there was like, I don't know if they were a couple, but I'll just say two friends were talking to each other, and they were very excited, and they were talking about Harry Potter Wizards Unite. It was very jarring to walk past that conversation of two people being like, oh my gosh, they just added this in Wizards Unite, and I can't wait for this event. It was very jarring. That has nothing to do with Al's question. It just was a very fond memory I have about Wizards Unite that happened like 6 months ago, or whenever Go Fest was. But this is also what we didn't talk about earlier, is I do hate when people say, like, the only reason Pokemon Go is successful is because of the Pokemon brand. I just don't... Obviously, the Pokemon brand is very big, but there have been plenty of games that Pokemon... There have been plenty of just things that have existed that Pokemon is attached to that doesn't sell or has fallen off. Pokemon Duel, Pokemon Rumble Rush, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, like I know people like Mystery Dungeon. It doesn't sell as well as these people think they do. It just doesn't. So just because the Pokemon brand is attached, I don't think is the leading or reason why Pokemon Go is so, like, Harry Potter is incredibly successful.
Yeah.
Like as much as J.K. Rowling sucks now, like, that franchise has done very well in movies and other forms of media. So I don't think the sole reason or why Pokemon Go is so successful is because of Pokemon. Another thing I just want to point out is why I pointed out the games that Pokemon was attached to that failed is think about how many people never played a Pokemon game and played Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
And that's and that's not like that is their game in. Like it was they didn't know anything about Pokemon, and because they liked Go so much, they became a Pokemon fan. And I don't know if that is the same for Harry Potter. I don't know if somebody, I'm sure there were some people, but
I mean, I think also one of the strengths about Pokemon is it plays on our natural affinity for pets, right? Like we are as a species, most of us are very pet, cute, animal focused. And one of the strengths of Pokemon is you can show people the breadth of all the Pokemon, and everybody will find something that they are drawn to. They're like, I really like this one. I like this design. I think it's cool. I think it's cute. Whatever. There's something about Pokemon that their designs are so good that literally everybody can look at something and say, I really like that. I know nothing about the game, but that attracts me. And Harry Potter is a subsection and off. Like a lot of people like fantasy, but Harry Potter is a very specific type of fantasy, and the creatures are all part of myth. And so that same connection that we make that with animals and pets doesn't exist in that world. And I think people who really like Harry Potter like it for very different reasons than Wizards Unite presented.
Yeah, I've never played the Harry Potter game, so I don't know about that. But I think what Greg was saying earlier about the mismatch between like the gameplay mechanics of the mobile game and like the franchise as a whole makes a lot of sense to me. Like before ever playing Pokemon Go, and I heard that Pokemon Go is launching, it's like, okay, that makes sense. You like have a game where you can walk around and catch Pokemon. That makes perfect sense. But like I can't even like conjure up a representation of what a walking Harry Potter mobile game would be like and what the point of it would be.
Yeah. I think that was the problem I also had with it when I started playing it the first time, is I didn't understand what the concept should be, but I knew when I was playing it that it wasn't this. Like, I don't know what I wanted it to be, but I'm pretty sure I didn't want it to be this.
I think I could say the same thing about Pikmin. Like when they were like Niantic's making a Pikmin game, we all like was like, well, that's weird. Like, why Pikmin? There's so many other Nintendo series that are more successful than Pikmin. And like I didn't look anything into it. Like I remember reading the press release on the show of like Niantic's making a Pikmin game. It's out in, I think it was in beta for like South Korea. And I didn't look into it. And then when it came out, I downloaded it and it asked very little of me. And it was like cute and charming enough. And I feel like because it asked very little of me, it was incentivized to come back and be like, okay, what else do you, what else are you doing? With Harry Potter, I was like, and I have no clue how a new Go player comes into Go, because I think Go is incredibly complicated from when it was 5 years ago. And I think Pengu can speak to that, because I remember her getting into Go and being like, what does this do? What does this do? Should I power up these Pokemon? But when Harry Potter asked so much of me at the start, and I was like, I don't have time to answer all these questions right now. Like you're asking a lot, and I don't know if I like you yet.
But I also think one of the strengths of Pikmin is the same thing that's a strength for Go. Pikmin the Games is about pulling the Pikmin out of the ground, getting your platoon, and sending them on expeditions. Like a core gameplay of why people like Pikmin is still very much represented in Pikmin Bloom. You plant them, you pull them out, and you send them off to do stuff. Like that hook is there, and I just don't think it was ever fully there for Wizards Unite. And I think it may have gotten there later,
Pikmin that there's not giant Duracell batteries I can't carry back.
Yeah. But, like, I think later, like, there's fans of Wizards Unite who got into it and got a lot out of the game, because I didn't continue with it, but I think it just did not have an auspicious start. It didn't start on the right foot for a lot of people,